Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Tobey's Talk Show. This is episode number 63, and today we will be discussing the NFL Wild Card Playoff. And I will be analyzing each game, talking about what I saw, and yeah, that'll be the video. And then I'll have another video out right before the divisional round, giving my predictions for those games. So, as you guys know, I went 4 for 6. If you did watch the last video, I went 4 for 6 on my predictions. I got everything right besides the Titans game and the Pittsburgh Steelers game. And yeah, so I'll talk about each game. We'll first start off with the Steelers game, and that was the Steelers versus Browns. And I said in the video that I thought there was a good chance the Browns could win, even though they didn't have the coaches. However, I just didn't think. I thought those coaches, especially their head coach and Kevin Stefanski, I thought that would hurt them a little bit. And I thought that that little bit of negativity for that team would make them lose. However, I was wrong. There was a lot of reasons why the Browns pretty much destroyed the Steelers. Obviously, the Steelers came back a little bit, but in the first quarter was obviously the big part of why the Browns won, and they were up 28-0, I believe, at the end of the first quarter. You had first had the fumble on the first play of the game, then you had, interceptions from Big Ben, and it was just a lot of costly turnovers that gave the Browns so much momentum such a big lead that it was too hard to come back. And I mean, that's all you could really say. Big Ben and Mike Pouncey, it's sad to see them go if they do retire this season that way. But like I said in the previous video, I thought the Steelers were a really, really overrated team. I said I hated them by accident, but I meant that they're just an overrated team in general. And I guess I was right because they lost to the Browns in the first round. And I thought, and they probably will be the most overrated 11-0 team of all time. Obviously, they didn't finish 16-0, but they were 11-0, I believe, at one point, maybe 12-0. I think it's 11-0. And yeah, I will stick to that. I believe that they are one of the most overrated teams of all time. And it proved it today when the Browns got their first win in 25 years. They were definitely not the better team. Obviously, the Steelers did have injuries throughout the year that slowly started to hurt them, especially on the defensive side of the ball with Dupree and Bush. However, I thought the Steelers had more talent than the Browns, and I thought they were going to win. And obviously, that was not the case, especially with how many turnovers there were in the first quarter for the Steelers, and it was just too much to come back from. I'm going to try to go through all these games pretty quickly. I don't want to make this a long video. The next game we have is the Titans-Ravens game. Lamar had a pretty good game. He doubted the haters that said he can, win playoff games. He didn't have a great game throwing. He had a great game running, though. And really, the reason why the Ravens won was their defense, specifically stopping Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry had, 40 yards on the day. Not good at all for his standards. I bet everyone predicted him to have at least 100 yards and a touchdown. Very different game, and the Ravens defense really stopped them. You have Judon that gets the backfield, Calais Campbell, a lot of guys that could get there for the Ravens, and they did just that. Ryan Tannehill didn't have that bad of a game. That pick at the end was pretty bad, but obviously Raymond fell there. They had a chance, and I just think if you're able to stop Derrick Henry, the Titans' offense changes drastically because you are going to have to rely on Ryan Tannehill to throw the ball. And last year in the playoffs, that wasn't the case. They were able to use Derrick Henry and run, pretty much the whole game. And then when you needed to throw the ball with Ryan Tannehill could get you those passes and those completions. However, it was more of we need Ryan Tannehill to take over, and that just didn't happen because of the Ravens' defense. Lamar, again, he had a great game. Specifically, it's just a great game for him just to shut the haters up. Again, he really needs receivers. If I'm the Ravens, I will definitely look into them in the offseason. That's probably the biggest flaw they have. J.K. Dobbins is a great running back. I'm a big fan of drafting running backs in the draft and letting them flourish and then moving on and drafting them again. However, yeah, their running back situation looks good. Just those receivers need some fixing up. The next game we have is what was the last game of the AFC? Why am I forgetting it? It was the Bills and the Colts. Of course, the best game of the playoffs, of the wild card weekend. I don't know how I forgot that. But that was a good game as well. I thought, like I said, that Josh Allen's offense would be too much for the Colts, and then the Bills would make a few defensive stops that would, clinch them the game. And that's exactly what happened at the last play. The Bills, they got the points they needed, and then they stopped the Colts before they were able to score a touchdown/field goal. What can I say about this game? Josh Allen looks great. I am a big Josh Allen fan. I've always been a fan of his, and it's great to see him really break out this year. I remember a lot of people were saying, he gets nervous in the playoffs. He's not ready for them. And obviously last year you saw that, but this year he looked great. He didn't look scared. He looked confident. He was throwing the ball with confidence, yipping it in there. And, Stephon Diggs is very, very good. Can't really stop him. And overall, I just think the Bills' offense is too good. They have too many weapons there. And I think the defense, like they did in this game, will make crucial stops when needed to, close it out for the Bills. And that's exactly what happened this weekend. Now to the NFC side, we'll quickly talk about the Saints and Bears. Nothing special there. The Bears just don't match up talently to the Saints, even though Drew Brees isn't as good as he once was. It's just they have too many weapons, and I feel bad for Bears fans, but I don't. It is what it is. You didn't really deserve to be there. What were you, 8-8? Like, you weren't a great team. The Saints, what were they, 12-4, 13-3? So yeah, I was not expecting any type of upset this game. I thought it was pretty obvious, and yeah, the score showed why. I thought it was pretty obvious that the Saints defense was no match for Mitchell Trubisky, or I guess it was a match because they locked him down, and the Saints offense, they didn't go crazy on the Bears defense because the Bears do have a great defense, but they got the points needed to win the game by a good amount, which they scored 3 touchdowns, I believe. The next game is the Washington football team and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, I didn't really think there would be upset potential in this game. However, I was wrong. The football team did have a chance to win the game with Heineke, I believe is how you say his name. But you do have to give props to the man Heineke because he played absolutely phenomenal. He put his heart out the line. He was diving for the goal, for the end zone. He was making great throws, was making the right reads, running at the right times, and he was playing. He's a backup quarterback going up against the GOAT in the playoffs, and he put up a great fight. Obviously, the Buccaneers were able to pull it out. Again, like I said with the Bills, I think the Buccaneers defense could make key stops that could lead to them winning the game because the Buccaneers offense could give you those points, and they dropped 31 this weekend, like I said. So, if you have a strong offense and your defense can make a few key stops, I think you're going to be a very, very good team in the NFL. Sounds pretty obvious, but I think that is a good key to success, and I think the Bills and Buccaneers both have that, and I think that was the key. The Bucs made a few nice stops, and then they were able to score when the football team wasn't, and that just led to them getting a good lead, and the football team always came close to, tying it or going up, but Buccaneers just had too solid of a lead to give it up, and Tom Brady, I'm never going to bet against Tom Brady until it becomes either the conference final, I always say the conference finals, the NFC championship, or the Super Bowl, and yeah, that's just my opinion on the situation. Buccaneers offense too good, and, Washington just didn't, was not as talented at all compared to the Bucs. I think that was pretty obvious. The last game was the Seahawks and Rams. I got this game right. I thought Jared Goff was starting when I did make that prediction. He pretty much did because he played, I think, 3.5 quarters. Maybe he started playing in the second. But obviously, Warford, I think is how you say his name, got hurt. Very, very sad. Very sad to see. I did not want to see that. Jamal Adams. I don't know what you could say about the man. But, Jared Goff came in. I was a little confused. I was like, I thought he would have either been out or playing, but he was kind of the bench guy, and he came in and he did his Jared Goff thing, controlled the offense very nicely, made the right plays at the right time, made great throws to Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, and Cam Akers is a stud, man. That guy ran through the Seahawks defense. He had 170 yards in the first half with a touchdown. That Seahawks defense needs a lot of help and a lot of work, and that offensive line for the Seahawks is really bad. The Rams defense, obviously, Aaron Donald was hurt a little bit throughout the game, but even without him, Morgan Fox, he was getting in Russell Wilson's face basically every play. And yeah, I just think the Seahawks really need to look at D-line and O-line help because they were getting killed. Russell Wilson was getting way too many hits and sacks against him, and their D-line just wasn't getting the pressure needed. So yeah, guys, that's my analysis on all the games. I think I'll give my prediction video again on Friday so we could watch, or just right before the Saturday and Sunday games. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about all the games. Let me know if your favorite team is moving on, got bounced, or is too bad not to even make the playoffs. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm in that too bad not to make the playoffs, but it's all good. Hopefully we'll be back next year, Super Bowl next year. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was episode number 63. I'll see you guys for episode number 64, my predictions of the divisional round, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.